Hello and welcome, my friends. So glad you're here. Tonight we'll be finishing off the first set of Cards Challenge 11. If you've been following my channel, you've been seeing this these paper patterns in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos, and this will be the final one. We're working on Card Sketch 13. For some reason, I can't say Card Sketch 13 tonight. Anyway, and these are the 5 pieces that we have to go by, and obviously we're going to be bringing in some additional layers for this and some additional elements. And so I'll just push this aside. I'm going to get my card base ready. I should have done this in advance. I was thinking about that and then I didn't get it done. So, all right. So we'll just score. All my cards are A2, so I'm scoring at 4.5 as usual. Flipping it over, bending it in, and we are just going to get to assembling our card. So I've got the paper that I have. I've got my elements. I've got this kind of checkered or plaid type paper. Kind of looks like maybe a picnic table cloth that I'm going to use, and it is A2 size. So I'm going to just get it taped down, and I'll use my Score Buddy to line it up. So today was a beautiful day. I had 3 grandkids and a great niece today. So we had a lot of fun. It was a beautiful day. We were out probably more than we should have been, just because of the sun and the heat and the little ones. This piece here is a 4 by 4 1/8, and it's going to be on the top half of our card. We're going to leave this down here open. So I'll just go ahead and take my tape runner and get it laid down. So we, let's see, what did we do? First of all, we went, well, we got everybody fed for breakfast and stuff, and kind of hung out around the house in the morning for a little bit. Then we decided that we needed to venture out. So we live in a golf cart community. I think I've said that on a video before. And so nearly everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people in town have golf carts. Well, anyway, so my grandson wanted to go out on the golf cart, which is something he wants to do every day. This one here is 3 3/4 by 3 7/8. So I'm just trying to make sure I got it laid the right way. Anyway, so I have these nice little harnesses for the babies. You know, I mentioned I got a almost 1-year-old and a almost 2.5-year-old. And then I had 2 almost 10-year-olds, or 10 and almost 10-year-old. And so we have the harnesses for the golf carts to strap them on. Well, we got everybody loaded in and strapped on the golf cart, and we went to the park. Our park has a really nice park with a pond and a zoo and everything else. So we went there, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And then we stayed there until lunchtime. And then at lunchtime, I asked the kids what they wanted to eat. And my granddaughter, who's been away at camp, said that she wanted McDonald's. So everybody was agreeable to that. So we went ahead and went to McDonald's. And trying to make sure I get this going in the right direction. This piece here is 3.5 by 3 5/8. So we went into McDonald's, and I'm sure a lot of people thought, this crazy woman has got 4 kids with her that she's trying to manage. But we managed just fine. The older girls were a big help. But these kids ate a ton of food. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so we did that, and then when we got done with that, we came back to the house for a little bit, and we watched a couple of movies, and while the younger ones took a nap. And then when they woke up, they were ready to go again. So then we hopped on the golf cart again, and we went to one of the little neighborhood schools and played on their jungle gym. So we had, and then it was time to go home, and they were worn out. Okay, so these pieces, this is how they're going to lay on there. This green piece is actually 1 1/8 by 1, and these two are 1 by 1. And this is 3 1/2 by 3 5/8. So I'm just going to get them laid down. I'm just laying them flat. I've got some other elements that are going to go on here. So we'll just try and get it laid down on here like we want it. We're going to have an edge. I think, for that. So it was pretty busy. Then my daughter said, when she got him home, she said, did he have a nap? He was the oldest one. He was really tired. And I said, well, he did take an 1.5 hour nap, but he normally naps a lot longer than that. So I said, I think he's going to need another nap because Nana just wore those kids out. So we had fun. I try to just take them and go and just explore and have a lot of fun. And I think we do. So that's what we do. And most of the things I do, I mean, are inexpensive. I mean, you know, our park, you know, that's free, and we've got the animals there, and the kids love the animals, so that was fun. But, so I was worn out, though, after they left myself. And I just took a little break, just kind of sat on the couch and caught up on some of my YouTube videos that I wanted to see, and got that going. Okay, so there, we've got the base of our panel laid down. It also calls for another strip, and it actually calls for a ribbon, but I'm not going to do the ribbon. I've got some, I'm going to layer this. This should be a 1/2 inch by 4 1/2, or 4 1/4, and this other piece is 4 1/4 by a 1/4. And you can see that I have stamped and embossed on there, Have the Best Birthday. And I used the Butterfly Burst stamp at Die Set of the Month for that sentiment. And I'm also going to add some butterflies from that stamp and Die of the Month as well. Butterfly Burst, that was March 23. I'll try to link it up in the description box below so you can check that out. So just kind of, now this one's a little bit thinner than my tape runner, so I'm going to use my glue to lay it down, is what I'm going to do. My husband's now retired, so he's home too, but he really keeps himself busy, which is fine. I keep myself busy with the kids, and he keeps himself busy. He does some mowing and stuff for some local people, and just to kind of keep himself entertained. And I forgot that was just supposed to be the edge, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down where my blue goes edge to edge, and then I will cut it off. And this portion here, this is the area where I think you were supposed to put a bow, like right here, like put a bow right there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to flip this over, use my non-stick scissors, and just snip that off. Okay, and so I've got that laid down. I think that looks pretty good. And then I think these butterflies that I'm going to bring in from that Butterfly Burst, I have stamped and embossed with clear. I used, for the stamp ink, I did use the Prize Ribbon from Ranger, and I used Ranger clear embossing powder and just stamped that and then embossed it just to kind of give a little shine to it. And I'm going to, I cut 3 more butterflies out of the same pattern, and I'm just going to give it some dimension, is what I'm planning to do. Just layer them up, and we'll get that laid down, and this will take care of card sketch 13. I had a lot of fun with this. I know the paper, the pattern paper kind of gets repetitive for the videos, but I think, if you look at them, you can see how you can take, you know, the same set of papers and just get so many different designs out of them. I think that's the whole purpose. Now, I was thinking about something, okay, for, you know, did I want to do something for those? And I think I'm going to use just some sequins for embellishments. Just making sure I get these lined up well. I think they're good. All right, we'll just lay some glue down. And then looking at the card sketch, which I just shut off, this goes up here. But I'm gonna slant mine like that and just kind of lay it on there. And I think, you know, putting this green color down here and there kind of helps tie in this paper pack. I think that does help with that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and continue to use my gold sequins that I have, just because I've got, you know, the gold flecks on there, and I have the gold sequins, and I have this bare space, I guess is what I'm kind of getting at. So once again, my little pink jewel tool has ran away from home. I'm sure it'll reappear. Probably should have laid these out to see if I liked that before I did it, but I just had that in my head and thought that was how I was going to do it, so. Okay. Then we'll get this one laid down. Try and get them lined up nice. Oops, that one's upside down. I'm not going to use that one. I'll get a clean one. And I feel like that needs to go closer. And then I think what I'm going to do is put 2 on here. And then we'll have our uneven number of 5. And we've kind of filled those voided spots. So this is card sketch, what did I say, 13. And we'll just move right on to 14 and then 15, and then we'll do a recap. I'll just lay all 15 cards out on a board and show them to you. Okay, so I'm just going to get down to business on this next card sketch, 14. We'll do a little less talking and a lot more moving. Because I think I took about 15 minutes on that first one, and I hate to have a really, really long video. So this is our pattern paper that I'm adding. This was where you could add to the sketch. Just say that. And out of tape runner again. Evidently I can get through about 6 cards with a tape runner, because that's about where I'm at with that. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down. This is a layer. Now, this next one is also a layer. And when I say layers, the layers are the pieces that you bring into the card sketch. So this is a layer here, and it's going to lay over here on this side. Just lay it down. And the next piece is a pattern paper that was part of the cutting of the 6x6. And I'm trying to keep, you know, my color palette very similar. So that's why you're seeing me layer the same on top. That's pretty close. There's that. Okay, and then the next piece is actually a layer that you bring in. And I'm going to use this mirrored gold cardstock from Spellbinders. And I'm going to layer it in. I'm going to use some of I've got some tear tape, and I think I'll just use it because it works better. Tape works better on gold mirrored cardstock. And I see I'm hoping that I can cover it up. I've got a little blue ink. Got a little crazy with my glue, or my ink, on when I was doing some preparation, when I was doing my stamping, and I got it in a couple spots. But I think I'm going to lay this to where it'll get covered up, so I think it'll be all right. And I'm just using this because glue takes a minute on the gold and it slides around a little bit, and I just don't want to have to deal with that, so I'm just going to use this tear tape, which you get the tear tape in the Spellbinders kits if you ever order their kits. And so I have some of that from their kits, the card kits, when you got those. I assume they still put it in there. They've got the new easy, or whatever it's called, card kits that are different. Anyway, so I'm going to just set this down on here, try to lay it down nicely. And then we'll just do the same thing on the back of it, just so we don't have to worry about slip sliding away. And I'm not going to do the ends. I'm just going to do right down the center and just tear off 3 of them. That'll work. Now I am going to bring in some additional elements. I have got the butterfly sparkle. I know I did a butterfly in the last from the Butterfly Burst. I also have the butterfly sparkle stamp and die set, which actually was in a kit. Actually, that was in a kit that when I first started subscribing to Spellbinders, it was in a kit, and I absolutely loved it. So this one here is going to lay down like this, and I have embossed it with the new, this was last month, the June embossing folder of the month. I've got some blue ink on there because I did some inking on there. I just need to clean that off. So then our next layer is going to be similar, and then I'm going to use the gold metallic again, just because I was trying not to bring in extra elements of color. So that's why I did that. I'm going to go ahead and leave that tear tape on there and go ahead and get this laid down. And the gold sentiments that are laying there are from that Butterfly Sparkle kit as well. So I love that kit. I had so much fun making, and I still love the dies. The die set, the butterfly die set is so pretty. You're going to see the, actually I think I used the butterfly on the next card, and I used the sentiment on this card is what I had planned. So just pull these off. I've got a little banner somewhere that's gone missing. I have to look for it. Okay, and then this is supposed to lay like this. So you kind of have like a little crisscross type pattern, and it's going to lay like that. And then I have die cut out. I'm going to use this instead of the ribbon that it shows. I'm going to use this Summertime on My Mind and lay it on here. I'm going to lay it lower than what it shows, because I don't think I want to lay it on that red, the red on top of the red. But I am going to use these dies, and this one popped out and fell on my desk, which is wonderful. And it says Smile Often. And let's see if this one will pop up when I drop it. Probably not. I need to poke it out. And that's going to be on there. And when I think of summertime, I think of lots of reasons to smile. I absolutely love summertime. It's my favorite time of year. It's my birthday time of year. I love it. And that's what I think of with that. Now, there's supposed to be a banner, and it has, it is somewhere on this desk. So I need to pause for a minute and find it. Okay, it was laying underneath my dies. So I'm glad I found it. And what I'm going to do real quickly is just, this is how I do my banners. I'm not good at it, I'll tell you that. Snip, snip, snip. And that's how I do it, because I'm just not I don't have a die for it, and I'm just not, it's just not my thing, I guess. I'm not good at that. And I'm still trying to get it how I want it, so bear with me. Okay, so that's a pretty rough one, but what I'm going to do is get it on there. And I think it just ties the whole thing in together. Oops, let me get it lined up there. Okay, now just need to grab my handy dandy tweezers, which before I started the video, I made sure I had everything laying within arm's reach. And then I can't find it. Okay, I've got quite a bit of glue on the tip of my glue tip, so I'm gonna wipe some of that off. Just touch that to my paper towel to kind of clean it up a little bit. And since it's turned, I'm gonna turn my smile often as well. Whoops. Just grab that, get some glue on there. Get it laid down. And it will dry clear, so we'll be all right with that. And I think I'll just go ahead, I've got, yeah, I've got some strips. I've got a little bit of strips laying here. And I'm just gonna put it on here and pop this up. And then we'll be done with this card. Grab my adhesive scissors. I had to really make myself remember to do that because before I didn't have any and it's just gunking up all my scissors. Okay, and then we're just going to lay this across here. And we got to get it kind of even. And this little strip was in the card kit. So there's my card. I like it. I think it turned out pretty. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I do like how it turned out. I am going to clean a little bit of the glue up there. There we go. I like it. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one, and we'll just try to move through it rather rapidly. Okay, this next one's kind of going to be a mix between these two cards to where we have some of the blue and some of the red in there together. So I'm just going to pull my elements out and just get going on them. So here we go. I've got my card sketched. This, let me make sure I got it. Yep, this is our base layer. And we're actually going to have a little bit of a white edge along there. Yeah, that's right. It actually is showing this card in this direction, so I need to turn it. And hopefully all of my elements are going to work that way. I think when I was looking at it, I was looking the other way. All right, let's just get this laid down. Get us a nice little edge around there. Lay that down. We're going to move right on to our tablecloth pattern, our picnic tablecloth. This whole card pad just reminds you of a picnic. There's all kinds of fruit paper and all that, even some that I didn't use in this video, in this series of videos. But we'll get that laid down. And then the next piece is this. And we have not yet gotten to the pieces that were to be used from the cuttings. So these are all still just layers. Let's see, tomorrow will be a quiet day because I think I'll just have the two boys with me. So it'll be a quiet day, and they'll get caught up on their sleep tomorrow. So there won't be noise and they'll be able to just sleep away as they'd like. Okay, now this is where we're going to start to see some other pattern pieces. There it is. I had one go astray. And it is paper D, which is my stripe. So that's going to go at the top. And then paper E, which is my pink. I'm just keeping myself in check. And then my paper F, which are my pansies. And I think these go clear up to the top and clear together, but there's a little just edge on the side. So that's how those are going to lay down. So those are actually the pieces of paper that were, these 3 pieces come from the cuttings. And then the rest are choices that you make of what you want to add to them. So you can see I got them labeled 15 from when I cut them. Okay, and then this one. Get them all the way down like that, and that's how that goes. Now, on this design, it actually calls for any type of a shape that would be, what does it say, 2.5 to 3 inches. But I am going rogue on this, and I am going to add this instead. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And I'm going to pop it up. And I just realized I cut a whole foam strip, but I think I need to do part on one side and part on the other so that we lay down correctly, and hopefully it's not too full. So I'm going to just do part of it on this end. If I pull it apart. And I've got pink because I thought it would show less. Oh yeah, that was a good fit. And then I need to go where the R is on that one. So I've cut it plenty big enough. And then we'll cut this off. And I'm going to lay it down on this end. And then the difference in the paper will help. And that will lay very nicely on there. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm gluing up my foam. I only have adhesive on one side of that foam. And then I'm also doing that so that it'll glue to my paper base as well. So I'm just moving that to where I feel it kind of bump up against that paper. That looks nice. I like that. I'm happy with that. I'm going to have to snip off a little bit of that. I hope my A is not too close to it. I don't think it is. So we'll snip a little bit of that off. And I've got some foam on there too, so. There, a wonderful day. So I've got that on there. Give that time to get adhered. Okay, and then what I've got is I took my Butterfly Sparkle die from the Butterfly Sparkle kit, and this is it. It's kind of a mess. I've got stuff in there. And I did my shadow for my butterfly with the red, just tying in that red again. And then I've got I took the gold, since we've got a lot of gold going on in that, with our pansies having gold dot centers in them, and then our Have a Wonderful Day having in gold. And I'm just popping this out. Okay, this all popped out. And I'm just going to clean it up. This cleans up very easy, especially when you use the metallic. I mean, it just push your little 2-in-1 tool in there and just poke out all those little bits. Now, one thing I just remembered that I didn't do is cut out my my butterfly body. So I need to do that. That'll take just a minute. But I'm going to lay my butterfly on here. I need to clean that up a little bit. There's just a little bit of, it won't show because I'm lay my other piece on there. So I'm going to lay that on there. And I think that just is super cute. Super cute. And then I'm going to kind of bend this up a little bit. There's just a little flat spot on there, I'm going to put a dab of glue, and I'm going to lay it down on there, and just kind of, whoops, it kind of smushed out quite a bit there. And then I'm going to pause. I'm going to cut out my butterfly body. I'll be right back. And this is just the tiniest of pieces, and I just grabbed the first piece of scrap paper that I found laying on my desk to use for my body that would match, and it just happens to be the red. So I'm just going to lay a little bit of glue there and bring my tweezers in, because this is just a tiny little piece. Oh goodness, I've got glue all over my fingers and all over my tweezers and everything else. So I'm just going to lay that down. Now that glue will dry nicely and I'll clean it up, but I am done with my 15th card, and I'm going to pause. I'm going to get all of my cards, and I'll just show you just a real quick overview of all 15 cards. So I like that too. I hope you enjoyed the 3 cards that we made today. Now here's a quick overview of the 15 cards that I made from Kendra's Card Challenge 11. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.